nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
My honor.
Mr. Kakale, would you lead us in, give us a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Seat A, Chucky Sheramy.
Here.
Seat B, Tom Pete.
Here.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafourche.
Here.
Seat D, Rodney Gisclair.
Here.
Seat E, Reggie Lede.
Here.
Seat F, Larry Griffin. Seat G, John Melisson.
Here.
Seat H, Mike Kelly here. Seat I, Chris Kelly.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Next, we go into approved minutes for the July 12, 2023 meeting. I need a motion. Moved by Mike Colley, second by Tom Pete. Any public comment? Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have Executive Director's Report. Mr. Chasson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is our Northern Expansion projects, Northern Expansion Slip C and Flotation Canal Sweep Dredging, PCOLA and Associates.
Yes, Coastal Dredging Company is the contractor. He's actually complete with the project. He was doing some final sweep dredging over the weekend, but we considered him substantial complete on August the 4th. So we do have that on the agenda for you guys' approval.
Any questions for Joe? Thank you, Joe. Northern Expansion Slip D Bulkhead, GIS Engineering.
Okay, this is the continuation of Joe's project. We are pretty much wrapped up with the plans and specs, getting some little details done. On your agenda later on, there's a replacement agreement with DOTD for this. The original agreement y'all had, DOTD didn't have the money, but now they do, so they have to replace their agreement. And should be starting to advertise relatively soon.
Any questions? Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay, our airport projects, aircraft operations, Davey.
Operations for last month were 1,911. We had 10,736 passengers and 27,515 vehicles visit the airport.
Questions on that? Okay, Airport Connector Road and Bridge, PCOLA and Associates.
So Sea Level is the contractor. They're currently working on pouring the main concrete towers, switching back and forth to LA 308 and LA 1. That's going pretty well. They're doing basically a pour every other week right now. And then they'll start doing the cross spacings at the top. The roadway work is pretty much come to a standstill for now, but I mean, that's not really critical on their schedule. We do have a change order number 7 on the agenda for approval, but after discussing with Chet and Bryce, we're gonna pull that change order back. And this was for ultra hazard conditions. DOTD requested that we add this to their insurance rider. And we feel like we're beyond that now with the construction, and we converse with DOTD and FHWA about dropping it back to the limits that were in the original contract, and they agreed. So we'll work with them on getting a credit for that, and we'll come back to you with a change order next month.
Question. Is this the highest they're gonna pour, or they got another pour on top of that?
They haven't, well, they're pouring the main towers in 3 sections. So on the 308 side, they're at the highest they're gonna be. On the LA1 side, they still gotta go up 2 more sections. Then they're gonna go across. There's gonna be a concrete beam across.
They're gonna pour that, or they're gonna put it in place?
They're gonna pour it in place.
Place, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Come to the podium, Joe. If you're gonna ask, come to the podium.
In reference to the connector road currently at a standstill, I've been asked if that is being, like, they're doing it in coordination, like, we don't need to finish the connector road until the bridge is done, or can the connector road be completed prior to the completion of the bridge?
So the whole project is in one project, so they don't have to complete the connector road until everything's complete. Right now, we're having some discussions with them about price of aggregate and going back and forth with them. And so they decided just to hold off on that section of the project right now. That's not the critical path of the schedule. Critical path is more the bridge construction and the mechanical equipment. They could probably finish the connector road in the next 3 or 4 months if they really wanted to, so.
But Joe, to answer your question, or the question I think that was asked, is we had the same question beginning of the project when it was bid. They do not want to accept or finish the connector road and open that because they need that for a staging area to build the bridge. So it won't work having it open to traffic. That was the question. Yeah.
And I think people were asking because of the Golden Meadow Bridge still out and looking for more access routes and things like that is what spawned it. And with that, I'm going to give you all an update that exactly a week from today, on August 16th, DOTD is going to be making public now that they have secured last year's money and this year's money, the contract to fix the Golden Meadow Bridge, both the post-Ida safety issues as well as the structural. So it'll be advertised August 16th and let on September 13th with an immediate notice to proceed to whoever wins the contract. So we're going to start seeing it.
Being that they're going to change the grill on the bridge, is bad. How come they're not doing it now while they're waiting for the bridge to be fixed? You know, they'd be one step ahead.
The work scope was originally just the post-Ida repairs that was done with last year's money. Upon it surveying the post-Ida repairs, they found the problems with the bridge deck. They didn't have the money in last year's money. They had to wait till July 1st to be able to have the money available to do the structural repairs. So they opted to just make a combined contract that's both the post-Ida from last year's money combined with the structural repairs from this year, and that's why they had to wait till July 1st. There was a 30-day delay because of, they thought they had to get a permit from the State Historic Preservation Office in Billy Nunges's department, the Lieutenant Governor's office. So they told me there would be a 30-day delay, and then whenever I poked my nose into it, ultimately they didn't need that permit, so they basically gonna let, or advertise as early as possible, which is next Wednesday, with a 1-month, letting being on September 13th. So it's as soon as we can get it done, with the combined money.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Happy LED upgrade, GIS Engineering.
Okay, Preferred Electric is the contractor on this project. They were issued a notice to proceed back in May, and as y'all recall, they could not get all the pieces in until early August was our original timeline. We got word yesterday that they were shipped, so they should be in a week, and you'll be able to see construction start in hopefully next week.
Okay, good deal. Any questions? All right, the fuel system rehabilitation.
Fuel system rehab is on advertisement right now. Bids are scheduled to be received on August 30th.
All right, any questions? You looking at the price?
I'm looking at the price. You can afford the plane, but you can't afford the gas.
In terms of aviation fuel and that cost, we have
We're
good,
low?
good cost. Yeah, good pricing. That's why people actually fly into Gallaudet Airport just to fuel up. Okay?
Okay,
So, just so you know. Good to know.
go buy Tom's, you get a cheaper rate.
We compete very well on the market. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Other projects, the Fouchon Pavilion, PCO and Associates.
So the project is complete, and actually the lien period is up, but we haven't received the clear lien certificate from the contractor yet. We're still negotiating time on this project, so at next month's meeting, hopefully we'll have a resolution and he'll request retainage. We'll be done then.
That's all we got left, Joe, is the clear lien certificate?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, the flotation canal and front commercial marina dredge project.
Coastal Dredging Company is a contract on this one, also. Since he's complete with the sweep dredging, we gave him notice to proceed on Monday on this project. He's gonna have a little bit of downtime for mechanical repairs to the dredge, but he should be starting within the next month or so.
Any questions? All right, flotation canal drainage improvements.
TD Construction Group out of Thibodeau is the contractor. We held a pre-construction meeting. We've been reviewing his submittals on all the materials, and we actually given him a notice to proceed on August the 10th, which is tomorrow.
All right. Any questions? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Leeville LA1 construction canal dredging and mitigation. Angela Design.
The contractor on this project is Coastal Dredging. The notice to proceed was issued a couple of weeks back on July 17th. Right now, the contractor is currently working on his construction layout surveys and magnetometer work. We anticipate that they're going to begin work on constructing the containment berms sometime later this month.
Any questions? Okay, the Fouchon Beach project.
Okay, on this project, we finally received permits back from both DNR and the Corps of Engineers. Right now, we're finalizing our plans and specs based on the updated budget for the project, and we expect to begin advertising that next month.
All right, we did get notification officially that FEMA is obligating $7.1 million to us for our Hurricane Zeta projects. And we had in turn committed that these funds would be put towards the beach project. So, you know, Bryce and I were reviewing kind of our funding sources and what we have available to us for the beach project, and we have basically $17 million available to us to do the beach project. And that pretty much gets us the full project that we could have imagined wanting to do on the beach. So we're gonna get you know, the breakwaters repaired, the GO2 project repaired, you know, do some things to prevent it from hopefully getting too much damage in the next storm, and maybe add a couple more breakwaters depending on what it looks like and what bids look like. So we'll have funding available for us, and it's FEMA dollars, it's Port dollars, it's Parish, Go Mesa dollars, and CPRA dollars in this project. So, and actually Wisner is giving us $100,000, and we may have some industry funding as well. I'm waiting on that confirmation soon. So as soon as I get that, I will let y'all know. So.
Yeah, and it's just additional comment, as Chad mentioned, this is going to be a major beach restoration project, but in addition to that and correcting the damage to the existing rocks, we think we'll have enough funding to be able to do about 8 to 10 more rock features out there. So we're still looking at the final configuration. We may do 4 and 4 or 4 and 5, probably a little bit more towards the west side and the east, but that's what we're finalizing. So.
Good job, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. All right, moving on to Hurricane Ida repair projects, the administration building, the plans design, Davey.
Administration building, all the punch list items have been completed. This job is getting ready to close out.
All right. Any questions? All right, Nerby Collins Marina Bucket Dredge, PCO and Associates.
So Plaisance Dragline is the contractor. Project's complete except for punch list item, mainly the parking lot, the clear lien certificate. We have been presented with a clear lien certificate from the contractor and a request for retainage, but my suggestion is to hold the retainage until we get the punch list item complete. I mean, it's not really Plaisance's fault. We kind of held him up with the other stuff from doing the parking lot work, but he is out there now working on the parking lot. He should be done within the next week or so at the latest.
So what is the depth of remind me again of the water in the pool? What is the depth in the slip?
15, minus 15.
Okay.
So we have a funding for Plaisance Dragline, so we would retain that funding, or that would go to
Go ahead, Rice, yeah.
today?
Yeah, I think the recommendation would be to approve the payment today, and we can hold the check until we get satisfactory proof that we completed the
Thank you. I needed clarity on that. Thank you, Mr. Otin.
Any questions? Or further questions? Okay. The Operations Center, EOC, and Warehouse.
Tosh is the contractor, Rittmeyer is the architect on that project. They have completed all the punch list items and additional work of painting the exterior of the Operations Center. We're waiting on a plug-in and a new hoist in the warehouse. That's the only items remaining.
Any questions? Okay. Boat lift, roof, and wharf repairs. GIS Engineering.
Okay, this is Tidewater Docks project down in the port. They are in the commercial Derby Collins Marina, working on replacing those piers. We expect them to be out there for several more weeks, but they're making good progress, and it's good.
All right.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Flotation Canal mooring dolphin repairs.
The contractor with Sea Level Construction, they have completed all the work, including some additional change order work requested by the port. That was work to blast and coat the dolphins that were not originally damaged by Hurricane Ida, but we wanted to do some repairs too, to bring them up to the same, hopefully the same level of future maintenance needs as the new dolphins. We're recommending substantial completion on this project later on the agenda for August 2nd, and we also have that change order on the agenda for you.
Any questions? Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
All right, the inland debris removal project.
And debris removal, our low quote is Lowland Construction, and all the paperwork has been signed, and we have a pre-construction meeting scheduled for August 15th.
All right, any questions?
Nope.
All right. Concludes my report, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chesson. Next, we're going into public comment. Ms. Thibodeau, would you like to give a comment, please?
Hello, thank you for allowing me to come before you. My name is Wendy Thibodeau, and I'm here to announce that I am seeking re-election as assessor of Lafourche Parish. Some of the things that I pride myself on is fair and equitable assessments, and proof of that is that my office has never failed the annual ratio study performed by the Louisiana Tax Commission. Another example of fair and equitable is after Hurricane Ida, I was faced with the task of reassessing the entire parish, 55,000 structures. I chose not to put a blanket depreciation across the board for everybody in Lafourche Parish. It was not fair to the southern part of the parish that sustained the majority of the damage to give everybody the same amount of depreciation. Therefore, I took my time and I reassessed every area according to the damage that was sustained in that area, keeping it fair for everybody. Another thing that the office did, that I did back when they made changes to the industrial tax exemption program, the 10-year exemption, it kind of upset the apple cart, and what I did is went in front of the sheriff, the parish council, and the school board and got their permission through resolution allowing me to determine whether the application for the exemption would be net positive, net neutral, or net negative for the parish. I got a customized computer program, software, that is customized for Lafourche Parish, that when they apply, I put in the data in my office and a report comes out. The report is either net positive. If it's net positive, I have the authority to approve that contract. If it's net neutral and net negative, I give it back to the sheriff, the parish, and the school board, and they determine what they want to do. That process, that streamlining of that application process played a major role in the awarding of John Deere. There's an expansion project, and they were competing with another John Deere facility, and because we streamlined that process and was able to get it in first, he said, thank you, Wendy, that helped award us the contract. So I'm super proud that that's finally materializing. In 2022, I was awarded Bayou Industrial Group's Big Achiever Award, and also in 2022, I was named Louisiana's Assessor of the Year. That is the first time Lafourche has ever been awarded that honor, so I'm extremely proud of that. In 2023, I earned I'm certified in vessel valuation through an online, 12-week online course out of London, England. So I achieved that at the springtime of this year. Moving forward, I want to thank you all, because I just got word that this morning, final approval that my staff, my South Lafourche office is now going to move into the temporary building that y'all had. So thank you so much, because I'm grateful to Golden Meta, but they were limited in space, so I'm only able to open on Mondays and Wednesdays. By my South Lafourche staff, my entire staff, I'll be able to open 5 days a week, better serving the South Lafourche area. The final thing I want to talk about, I just was asked recently to be part of the Attorney General's team for the injunction that they filed suit to place an injunction on the FEMA 2.0 in flood insurance increases. So later on this month, I will be testifying in federal court to make the courts aware and FEMA aware of the negative impact that these insurance premiums will have on our tax base here in Lafourche Parish, which in turn directly affects your budget. So I've been collecting data, and just some initial information that I got from lending institutions, new sales that come through that people apply to get a mortgage on, a loan on, 40% of them are denied or do not close because once they get the information on how much the insurance is, the people can't afford it, or they no longer qualify. One of my major concerns with that are people that already have mortgages, that have made these mortgages with not that much extra every month. And what's going to happen is that if these insurance premiums keep going up and people cannot afford their house note, they're going to have two choices. One, abandon the property, sell it for less than market, or they're going to foreclose on the property, which is never good economically for us. If we're trying to draw industry and business here, you go and see just house after house or business after business closed. So that's just some of the things I'm touching on. I'm still gathering a lot of data, but I know it sounds crazy, but I'm excited about being part of that team to make sure to do everything we can to get that injunction to stop these insurance premiums. So I love what I do, and I am asking for your support to help me continue to do that. So thank you for having me. Anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
If you have time, maybe come have lunch with us later.
I appreciate it, but I have to get back up to
Okay.
Thibodeau. I do. I appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem.
you, guys. If y'all ever need anything,
Okay.
my office is always open. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Wendy.
And we're
Mr. Ogeron,
certainly,
would you like to speak?
as he's coming up, just to say, we're certainly happy to work with the assessor's office and any other entities in the parish that need space that we have available for them to be able to better serve our community. So thank you.
Thank you all very much. Yesterday, I did also qualify for my second term, hopefully as State Representative District 54. And hopefully, I enjoyed the last 3.5 years working with all of y'all, serving the people of Bayou Lafourche and the Bayou region in general. And hopefully get the chance to do it again for another 4 years and help y'all in Baton Rouge. And thank you all very much.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Ogeron.
Joe.
And Joe, thank you for all the hard work the last 3.5 years. We really appreciate it.
All right, any other public comment? All right, moving on. We're going to executive committee. Members are Chucky Sherman, Chairman, Rodney Driscoll, Senior, Larry Griffin, Jim Malone. First, we have consider approving the request from Fouchon Heavy Lift to lease site GLF 401.
All right, Valeris has given up this lease in November of this year, 2023, and Fouchon Heavy Lift would like to lease that property at the end of that lease. Recommendation to approve.
All right, I need a motion. Moved by Jim LaFond, second by Larry Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment?
Mr. President, I will abstain.
All right. Got one abstain, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed with Mr. Ledier abstaining. Okay, next we have, consider approving the sublease request from Slimmer J Technology for GLF 401.
All right, so this is a portion, 5-acre portion that Schlumberger would like to sublease on that area that Fouchon Heavy Lift we just approved a lease on. This is the footprint that Schlumberger is currently storing products on right now. Recommendation to approve.
All right, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. John Melleso, second by Mr. Rodney Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment?
Mr. President, I will abstain.
All right, I got abstained by Mr. Ledet. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed with abstained by Mr. Ledet. Next, we have consider approving the Hurricane Ida Funds Amendment with the parish.
All right, you had approved this agreement. This is an amendment. It changes some dates, extends some timelines for this funding, this $1 million that the Port Commission has allocated to it for some of the costs that aren't covered by insurance or FEMA. Recommendation to approve.
All right, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Chris Colley, second by Mr. Reggie Ledet. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the DOTD funding agreement for Fouchon Island feed study.
All right, this Fouchon Island feed study, FEED stands for Front End Engineering and Design. We have $2.5 million coming from the state through Department of Transportation. Recommendation to approve this report.
I got a move by Mr. Larry Griffin, second by Mr. Reggie Ledet. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. All right, that's all we have for executive committee. Next, we're going into permits and waterway. Members are Rodney Gisclair, Chairman, Reggie Ledet, Tom P., Chucky Sherman. Mr. Gisclair, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're going to review the permit from the Lafourche Levee District for a proposed construction of a series of small levees to form a retention area. 2 water control structures are to be installed within the system. Approximately 67,745 cubic yards of material will be excavated and placed on site. And it's short and sweet, but that's it, Mr. President. We don't have anything else. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gisclair, thank you very much.
Consider approving the substantial completion certificate from Coastal Dredging Company for the Northern Expansion Slip C Sweep Dredging.
This project is substantially complete. Recommendation to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I need a second by Mr. Tom P. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Item 2, consider approving the DOTD Northern Expansion Slip D Replacement Agreement.
Okay, as mentioned earlier, this is replacing the old agreement. Now that DOTD Port Priority has funding allocated to about $3.5 million. Recommendation to approve this agreement.
All right, we got a move on Mr. Chris Colley, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Item 3, consider approving change order number 7 from Sea Level Construction for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project.
All right, this is the item we will recommend taking no action on.
All right,
Currently, we'll approve a lesser amount of insurance and cost at the next meeting.
all right. Go ahead, Mr. Colley.
All right, I move that we take no action on this item.
All right. Hold on, go ahead.
Item 4, consider accepting the clear lien certificate from Picciola Construction Company for the administration building repairs.
All right, all is in order. Recommendation to approve.
Move.
Move by Mr. Chris Colley, second by Jamie Lafont. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Item 5, consider accepting the clear lien certificate from Plaisance Dragline and Dredging for the Nerby Collins Marina Dredge Project.
Okay, I got a motion by Chris Colley, got a second by John Nelson. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Item 6, consider approving change order number 1 from Sea Level Construction for the Flotation Canal Mooring Dolphin Repair Project.
All right, this is a change order of $243,600 for sandblast and recoding of the existing mooring dolphins. Recommendation to approve.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Chris Colley, second by Mr. Rodney Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Item 7, consider approving the substantial completion certificate from Sea Level Construction for the Flotation Canal Moore and Dolphin Repair Project.
This project was substantially complete on August 2nd. Recommendation to approve.
All right, we got a move by Mr. Chris Colley, second by Mr. Larry Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. President, this concludes the Construction and Development Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Colley. Now we're going into Finance Committee. Members are John Mellison, Jr., Chairman, Larry Griffin, Chris Colley, Chuck is Chairman. You up, Mr. Mellison?
Thank you, Mr. President. Recognized. We'll begin by consider approving payment for the July 2023 invoices and recognizing those over $25,000. And we'll begin with item 1, Sea Level Construction Incorporated, $641,950.68. That's for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project, along with the Flotation Canal Mooring Dolphin Repairs. Item 2, Coastal Dredging Company Incorporated, $229,651.05, and that's for Slip C Sweep Dredging Part 2. Item 3, Piciola Construction Company Incorporated, $96,857.70. That's for Hurricane Ida repairs to the Administration Building. Item 4, GIS Engineering, $64,344.21. That's for the Bell Pass Deepening Project, Hurricane Ida Restoration Projects, along with General Engineering. Item 5, Angelette Design LLC, $54,358.11. That's for the Fouchon Island Permit Conceptual Development, along with the Fouchon Bridge. Item 6, Tosh LLC, $52,577.04. And that's for Hurricane Ida Recovery, Fouchon Sites. Item 7, Piciola and Associates, $37,372.80. That's for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project, the Flotation Canal Mooring Dolphin Front Marina Dredge, the Flotation Canal Drainage Replacement and Paving, Slip C Sweep Dredge Part 2 Channel Dredging, and the Airport Terminal Hangar. Item 8, Black Hawk Datacom, $35,434.82, access control and wiring for Administration Building. Item 9, Ascent Aviation Group, $34,773.39, fuel for resale and truck rental. Item 10, Plaisance Dragline and Dredging Company Incorporated, $31,220.33, and that's for dredging of the Nerby Collins Marina, Site 42. Item 11, USI Southwest, $30,000 even, that's risk management service fee. And last we have CSRS Disaster Recovery Management LLC, $27,738.75, and that's for disaster grant management for Hurricane Ida. These expenditures, along with the rest, bring us to a grand total of $2,399,476.36. And Mr. Griffin, if I didn't make a mistake, I'd like to make a motion we accept these.
32 cents,
I said 30.
36,
36 cents.
Yeah.
See, I almost made it,
You
Chet.
almost made it.
Almost.
but you did a good job anyhow.
Thank you very much. Can you second that for me?
I second it.
All right, Mr. President?
I got a motion from Mr. Mellison, second from Mr. Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next on the agenda, as discussed on Monday night, we need to consider approving the July 2023 preliminary unaudited financial statements. And Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion, we accept these.
I got a motion by Mr. Mellison, second by Mr. Petrie. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next on the agenda, we have consider approving the out-of-state travel and training request, and we'll begin with Director Chasson attending the Danish Energy Transition Visit in Copenhagen, Denmark, October 7th through the 13th. And I'll let Mr. Chasson explain a little what's going on here.
Yeah, so that, that visit, is actually being funded by the, Danish government. Invited us to go. We've met with them, with the state of Louisiana, and folks from around the state, both in Houston and in New Orleans in the past. And they would like to, show us what they've been able to accomplish in the last decade or so. The biggest parts of interest for us are that, they actually have some hydrogen projects that are going on there, which there's some interest in doing some of those things here in Louisiana, and in particular, potentially in Port Fourchon, as well as the Port of Edinburgh was a former oil and gas service port and has pretty much turned into an offshore wind service port. So us going to see that, because of what we know is coming in terms of offshore wind in the Gulf of Mexico, is going to be a valuable opportunity for us. And the fact that they're covering the majority of the cost of the trip is another plus for that. as
Thank
well.
you. So that'll be a total reimbursement, correct?
Correct.
All right, Mr. President, I'll continue on. We also have Director Chasson and Commissioner Gisclair, along with other commissioners, to be determined attending the GPA Fall Meeting in Mobile, Alabama, October 31st through November 2nd. And that concludes the
Need a motion?
travel and training report, and I'm trying to find myself. I'd like to make a motion, we accept these.
I got a motion by Mr. Melisone, second by Mr. Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And Mr. President, this concludes the Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Melisone, you did good today. All right, any other business? Any public comment?
Move that we adjourn,
I got a motion by Mr. Jimmy Lafourche to adjourn, second by Mr. Tom Peet. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion's passed. Like to thank everyone for coming to our meeting. Look, it's hot out there. Everybody be safe. If you're on the water, be enjoyable. We haven't had anything happen yet in the port. It's been nice with the recreation and and the commercial end. So everyone enjoy this, the rest of the summer y'all have left. School started. Be safe for the school buses and the parents out there and the kids. Meeting's adjourned.